My advice is don't take anybody else's advice because everybody else's advice just sucks. Just do what comes naturally.
To this point, advice on parenthood, it's a whole bunch of fun and it's not nearly as bad as they tell you it's going to be. It's going to be a lot of fun, so welcome to the club.
Have your baby sleep in its own bed, okay? Do not, because once you put that baby in between you and Kenny, the baby is not going to want to sleep in its own bed, okay? So keep that in mind. I don't care how tired you are, if the baby keep crying, put her back in her own bed.
And if you breastfeed, keep the baby next to you, just turn, pop it in the mouth and go right back to sleep.
Okay.
That's
and
good.
They're kind of auto service, right?
Exactly, exactly. When he or she is finished, back to rest.
Just remember, patience is a virtue. Be very patient with them. They will learn, just like you treat the students here. Maybe that's not a good example, but just be patient with your baby. That's all I can really say.
You're never, ever, ever going to learn anything from a book. It's all about trial and error and experience.
To spend as much time with a child as possible because they grow so fast. And to enjoy every minute of it.
Cherish every single moment that you have with her because those are the special moments that you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So, oh, and by the way, digital camera. Make sure you get one. Record every single moment. I mean, take tons of pictures. I mean, videotape her first steps, her first little sounds that she makes, because trust me, you go back to them.
Oh, now, this is very important, being that this is your first baby and everyone wants to come over. Spector, seriously, all jokes aside, do not have everyone holding your baby. Okay, you have your baby sitting up in one of those bassinets and you have a net over your baby. Okay?
Love the child unconditionally. That's what my mom did with us. And, you know, even when the kid gets crazy, like they will when they're teenagers, as we all know, it's part of their job description. If they know they've got that unconditional love backbone that's always been there, then that's going to carry them through and they'll come back around.
You got to let them try and trust you and confide in you. It's not going to be easy to be a friend and a mother, but you'll work it out.
Let the child sleep to lots of noise so they don't have a complex when they go to sleepovers and it's noisy.
All forehead. Come on, it's now or never.
That's a cool name for like a cartoon.
All forehead?
All forehead.
No, you can't do it. I'm serious. Let them play with their food. Let them run around dirty, you know, so they don't have a complex about, you know, cleanliness.
Come on, you're an actual mother.
Well, I'll be a mother with less forehead tomorrow.
So it's all about avoiding complexes, basically.
I think so. I think Spector would probably be the least likely parent to, you know, engage in child complexes. It'd probably be like, get over yourself, all right, go.
What's the key to being a good mom?
The key to I have no idea.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
You do. Your son's awesome. How did you do that?
He's a test tube baby.
I wish you would have known how useless most of our registry was and how useless, well, for you, how useless your registry is. So we should go over that later next week because most of the stuff is terrible. I don't know what you were thinking.
I mean, just take one day at a time, you know. If she need help, ask her mother, you know, ask somebody who's been through it already. That's what I do.
What's your advice to her on this whole, you know, raising a child thing?
What would Diane do?
What would Diane
And everything
do?
would be perfect.
Okay. So just, you know, follow the law according to Diane.
Yes.
Okay. You're a parent.
And a grandparent.
And a grandparent. So you got to have a lot of advice.
Well, there's one thing that I saw recently on TV that I thought was very interesting and might be helpful in the years coming up. And that is that the monsters in people's dreams are part of evolution. They come with the package. The kids don't make them up. These are evolutionary experiences that are in our genes to help prepare us for emergency situations so that when the kids say they see monsters and dream about monsters, they're real. Take it seriously.
And no matter what as cool as a parent you may think you are going to be, your kid's always going to perceive you as a dork. It just comes, I guess, you know, it's kids are always going to look at us that way. Does my son look at me that way? Not yet. He's only 6 months old, but eventually, yeah, I think he probably will look at me that way.
You don't think it's just because you are a dork?
So what do you mean it's real? Take it seriously. It represents something, or what?
No, it is a training. It is part of training for the child to be able to deal with the world. It is training to expect harsh realities, and it is part of our evolutionary process.
Spec, I know you're a good student. You study people very well. And I'm sure that from your experiences teaching here at CUNY Prep and maybe other places, you'll instinctively know what to do.
Okay, so what you're saying, let me just make sure I got this right, is when a kid has a dream about a monster, it's because one of their long since gone relatives experienced some sort of personal trauma that's manifesting itself in the form of a monster?
Bingo.
Come on, you're a great mom.
You could
have
just
a
like
very
do a
well-adjusted
voiceover.
son.
Why don't you talk and I'll move my mouth?
But what I'll say to you, Spec, is bend the tree from its young.
Bend the tree while it's young?
Yes. You know, when it gets old, it's kind of stiff, unbendable, refusing to yield. So you want to do it kind of early.
See, I have 3 daughters, and everyone is unique. So you have to be able to wing it.
Uh-huh.
Because there is no general rule for most anything.
Just give me one solid nugget of advice. You've learned something in these, 12 years of motherhood.
I've learned that that you are your own worst enemy when it comes to motherhood, because your child is you. Everything that is wrong about you, your child will have.
Well, that sounds really promising.
The best advice I can give any new mother is to love yourself equally with your child. You'll never have regrets later. And the wonderful thing is you can never love a child too much, which means you can't love yourself too much either.
The bottom line is you can't escape genetics, so you might as well embrace it.
Yeah, and it's a good thing because you've dealt with it your whole life, and now you can deal with it a little more. You know, you have the experience.
So when you do for one, you do for yourself. Do for her or him. It's a him. You do for yourself. Always balance it out and you will be a happy mother.
You got your forehead out again today, though.
I do.
She wouldn't talk to me yesterday.
Spectre, don't have a baby with a forehead as big as this one. How's that? No big forehead, baby.
The diaper changes and the crying in the middle of the night, it's not as terrible as people say it is. It's actually all worth it because every single day I get to wake up to my daughter and she brings so much happiness to my life. And I know that will be the same case for you. I know that you're going to absolutely love it. You're going to be a wonderful mother. I have no doubt about that.
My advice, it's not for Spectre because Spectre is great and she's going to be a great mom. And congratulations with everything. It's for the baby. Do not leave your bottle on the coffee table in the living room because Spectre will chase you, just like she does in the room there. It's room 202. Who left this water here? So that's my advice to you, baby Spectre. Don't make a mess because mommy will go after you.
No sippy cups, none of that stuff.
None of that stuff, none of that stuff.
Clean up your trail.
Clean up after yourself, and if you throw up, just pat it down. Don't let mommy catch you.